The day she disappeared began like most others. Stephanie had spent the morning completing her schoolwork and helping her mom with chores. An argument with her sister later that afternoon led to her stepping outside for some air. It wasn't unusual for Stephanie to seek solace in the woods, a place she described as her thinking spot. But this time, she didn't return. Stephanie Damron, a 14-year-old girl from New Sweden, Maine, US, disappeared on September 23, 2024. She was last seen leaving her home and walking into the nearby woods on West Road following an argument with her sister. Her family reported her missing the following day. At the time of her disappearance, Stephanie was described as 5 feet tall, weighing 130 pounds, with shoulder-length brown hair and green eyes. She was wearing blue jeans, a long-sleeved blue shirt, and black Harley-Davidson hiking boots. Additional photos were released by police. Despite extensive search efforts by the Maine State Police and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, including land searches, interviews, and following leads across Maine, the United States, and Canada, Stephanie remains unlocated. Community members have held vigils and organized search efforts to support the family and raise awareness about Stephanie's disappearance. Volunteers pushed through the thick forest that she had disappeared in. They called out her name. A search dog briefly picked up a scent near an old cabin, but it led nowhere. Each hours that passed felt heavier than the last. A toll line was created for the community to call on if they know the whereabouts of Stephanie. Series of calls came in with people who have allegedly seen sighting of her, but it all leads nowhere. There are many speculations surrounding her disappearance, which includes whether she has been kidnapped while she was walking through the thick forest, or perhaps she was attacked by wild animals with her body laying unconscious deep within the forest. One will never know until substantial evidence points in that direction. In December 2024, the FBI announced a reward of up to $15,000 for information leading to Stephanie's safe return or the arrest and prosecution of anyone involved in her disappearance. The reward comes after months of conducting interviews and following up on leads in Maine, other parts of the US, and Canada, all of which have been unsuccessful according to investigators. All possibilities are still on the table, Maine State Police Major Scott Goslin said during the December 2 press conference. On January 7, 2025, an article was written by Nicholas Vinuela and posted on NBC. It contained several interviews that were conducted by Dateline with the victim's family in search of possible leads and perhaps answers to solving the disappearance of Sarah. It's the worst nightmare that you wish you could wake up from. And it just keeps going and going and going, Lisa Damron told Dateline. I just want to know where my baby's at. I just want my baby home. Lisa's daughter, 13-year-old Stephanie Damron, has been missing from her New Sweden, Maine home since September 23. She's a wonderful girl, Lisa said. I can't believe this is all happening. The day was like any other. Sometime in the early afternoon, Lisa went with her husband to fill out paperwork for a job application. 4 of their 6 children, including Stephanie, stayed home with their grandfather. The house was a very personal place to her. She was constantly bewildered by her grandfather. The Damron children are homeschooled. Before we left and stuff, she came up to me, was giving me love, and hugged me and told me she loved me and kissed me on the cheek, Lisa remembered. I kissed her back and told her I love her and I'll be back. Lisa says she began receiving text messages at around 3 p.m. from her eldest daughter that Stephanie had left the house. Sometimes when, she gets upset or just wants to be left alone, she would go out in the woods, she said. They went out looking for her and stuff. They couldn't find her. According to Lisa, Stephanie had gotten into an argument with her older sister about chores before she ran off. They were arguing about who was going to do what, she explained. After the argument, Stephanie went outside where her grandfather was doing maintenance work on the front door. He said that she turned around, she looked back at him, she had tears in her eyes, Lisa said, and she turned around and just kept walking. Lisa says Stephanie then walked into the woods by the house, an area with which she was extremely familiar. There is a path through the area that leads to the main road. The family heard a vehicle pass by shortly after Stephanie ran off, although nobody saw it. They do not know if it was a vehicle, a four-wheeler, a motorcycle or something, she said. By the time anybody got up there, the vehicle was already gone. Shortly after learning Stephanie had run off, Lisa headed home to help look for her. I started looking for her, going up and down the roads and everything, because, she has done this before, she said. Lisa told Dateline that there have been 2 other instances where Stephanie has run off, but not like this. I've been able to find her the times she did it before, but this time I couldn't find her, she said. Stephanie's family reported her missing to the Maine State Police, MSP, the next day. MSP Lieutenant Darren Crane told Dateline the initial police response for Stephanie was extensive. Several K-9 teams went very early on. We've also gone back with cadaver dogs, he said. We have talked to neighbors repeatedly, just seeing if they remember anything or have heard anything or saw anything suspicious that day or around that time frame. According to Crane, the MSP has done several days' worth of large-scale grid searching in the area, which he described as extremely dense. More recently, the start of winter has made searching more difficult. That's a hurdle for us, the lieutenant said. We will, when weather permits, continue to search the local area physically. We haven't given up on that. According to Lieutenant Crane, the FBI offered their resources to the MSP not long after Stephanie went missing. The Major Crimes Unit will continue to investigate the case in partnership with the FBI's CARD team, the MSP wrote on a Facebook post from November 2024. The CARD team is the FBI's Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team, which specializes in cases where a child has been abducted by someone other than a family member. The FBI has listed Stephanie on their website and is offering a reward of up to $15,000 for information leading to the safe return of Stephanie Damron and/or information leading to the arrest and prosecution of anyone involved in her disappearance. Lieutenant Crane would not go into details of the investigation and says his department has not made a determination on whether foul play is involved in Stephanie's disappearance. The fact that we don't know either where Stephanie is today or what happened to Stephanie, then we believe anything is still possible, he told Dateline. From an accident out in the woods to foul play, we're taking it all serious and following up on any lead that points us in one direction or the other. Lisa Damron says the last few months have been agonizing, wondering where Stephanie is. I wished I knew to God where she was at because she wouldn't be there, she said. She would be here at home, where I know she's safe. Stephanie is 5'10" and 130 pounds. She has green eyes and brown hair. She was last seen wearing blue jeans, a long-sleeved blue shirt, and black Harley-Davidson hiking boots. Stephanie would be 14 years old today. Anyone with information about Stephanie's disappearance is asked to call the Maine State Police at 1-800-924-2261 or 207-532-5400. You may also contact the FBI's tip line at 1-800-TIP-KLL-LCLI. Family members, loved ones, and members of the community gathered at the New Sweden First Baptist Church to share Damron's story and to hold a moment of silence. People were also asked to write letters and wear purple, Damron's favorite color. The letters are part of a community-organized effort to get messages into the public in hopes of Damron seeing them. There is a social media page dedicated to sharing those letters. The Maine Department of Health and Human Services has also been notified, which is standard procedure whenever a minor goes missing or there could be an issue in the home, police said, without elaborating on the agency's involvement. New Sweden is a rural community of about 575 people, located 310 miles north of Portland. Stephanie's disappearance has attracted media attention from as far away as Europe. Tips have come in regarding the case from other states and Canada, and authorities are following up on those, police said. However, police have yet to receive any concrete leads, they said. We are looking for help from the public in order to maintain a vigilance for Stephanie and to report any tips or leads that might be helpful to our investigation. Gosselin said, "Any detail, no matter how small, could be helpful." Kim Melka, FBI Boston's Assistant Special Agent in charge, said at the FBI's press conference on Deck 2, "Rest assured, we are working to find out what happened to Stephanie and reunite her with her family." Till today, Sarah's whereabouts is yet to be known, and her disappearance remains a mystery to everyone. Could be a teenager acting out of anger or a kidnap case. Let us know what you think in the comments section. Do well to subscribe to our channel to get more true crime stories like this.